Hey beer geeks, and welcome to the Craft Beer channel. Today we are down in Kent at Hukins Hops, producers of amazing British hops. Now I know what you're thinking, British hops are not the coolest or the most trendiest. They're very subtle, some would call them twiggy, but actually when they're used in the right way, British hops are a fantastic way to get subtlety into your beers. Now, today we're doing something extra special. So not only are we using these beautiful things, Bullion, we're also going to be using them wet. So when you brew with a beer, usually you're using dried hops. It means these guys are picked and then they're taken to be processed where they're dried and condensed down. So all you've really got left is delicious oils. Now, when you use wet stuff, as the guys at Hukins Hops are going to explain to you, you get all kinds of other extra flavors that are just totally unique to using wet hops. So we've teamed up with 5 Points. They're brewing a beautiful Bullion bitter for their wet hop festival, and we're going to be giving you the skinny on what it tastes like and why wet hopping is awesome. Hukins Hops is down in Kent, the hop garden of England, and on a sunny September morning, a beautiful place to be. We drove down with 5 Points head brewer Greg to meet the farm's owner Ross Hukins. Among the hop vines, we talked about Bullion, wet hops, and what their plans were for this year's crop. So here we are at Hukins Hops in the Bullion fields, is that right?
That's right, yeah.
All right, well, before we get on to Bullion, which is the hop that 5 Points are going to be using, introduce yourself and tell us about your farm.
So my name's Ross Hukins, fourth generation Hukins to farm here at Haffenden Farms. We've been growing hops here for around 130, 140 years. Right. We only grow aroma hops, so two types of hops used in beer, bittering hops and aroma. So
start of boil and end of boil.
Exactly. Yeah. Ours are all about the infusion of the flavours that you're getting on the nose and the taste with the beers. So we have a heritage line of hops which include Fuggle and Goldings, the mainstay of British brewing for many years. And then we've also got higher intensity hops like Bullion, which we're talking about today.
Has there been a shift in British hop growing towards some more aromatic styles?
So what we're trying to do, and others with other varieties similar to this, are trying to encourage new craft brewers to buy British with these high intensity hops, potentially as an alternative option to using American or New Zealand hops, because British hops have this brand associated with them, with their subtlety, with the older flavours, and we're trying to increase the range of types of hops and beer styles available to British breweries. So
tell me about Bullion. What's its history? Because I don't think it's a hop that many people have heard of before.
So a lot of hop growers will remember Bullion. It's a difficult variety to grow. It's a variety that was grown on quite a wild scale in the southeast, used as an alpha, used in a lot of stouts, as an alpha acid hop, so to impart all the bittering on the beer, but never for the aromas. But we're particularly interested in the aromas, and we brought it back from the British Library. It fell out of production in the UK in a heavy way in the kind of 1970s. Before that, there were 500-600 acres of Bullion.
Right.
And now there's just 3.5 here and a small piece elsewhere.
Why did it fall out of fashion? Or
because as a bittering hop, there were higher alpha acid hops alternative availables. Right.
So efficiency for bitterness was better from other hops.
Better from other hops, and it was never used as an aroma, and that's why we've kind of reinvented it.
Right. So what is the aromas that we expect to get from Bullion? So
depending on the beer style it goes in, if it's used in lighter beers, you're going to get citrus, orange, and lemons. But what we found, if it's made into darker beer styles, stouts, then you get blackcurrant running through the beer.
Right. So Greg.
Hello.
You're brewing. Well, firstly, tell me about what you want from Bullion, and then we'll talk about the fact that we're going to be using these hops wet.
Yeah. So this will be the third year that we've brewed a green hop beer with Bullion, and it's just the best opportunity to showcase the variety and showcase what Ross is doing with it. We are using just a really simple grist, so just some low colour Marisotta, some wheat, some Munich, a bit of crystal, 3.7% beer, so it's sessionable, and we're just trying to get the most of those flavours out of it. All of it goes in the last 10 minutes of the boil, most of it after the end of the boil. We'll be using about 130 kilos wet hops in 20 barrels.
Right. So it's sort of a West Coast American approach to a bit of a British
Very much so.
cask.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And what flavours have you got out of it in the past couple of years?
So we have so definitely the orange citrusy notes, lemon as well. We have found we're getting blackcurrant out of it as well, definitely with the green hop. I think that's to do with the crystal in the recipe.
So the combination of that sort of residual sweetness and yeah. Wet hops. So I think everyone on our channel will know that most hops are dried before they're used. What's the benefit or the reason for using wet hops in a beer?
When we dry the hops, we dry them down to around 12% moisture, leaving just the hop oils. But some of the lighter viscous oils will be burnt off in the drying process. And we've seen with the single hop beer trials and beers we've drunk that there is a difference with using a green Bullion against a dried Bullion. You do get slightly different aromas there. So there's also a slight difference in the outcome.
Yeah, I mean, so when you do a dry hop rub, you will get that really sticky, oily, citrusy, piney kind of thing. When we were just rubbing them now, there's almost like a kind of a wet grape skin or wet grass kind of additional thing. Is that the oils, and that's what you're hoping to get when you brew with it?
Yeah, I mean, from us, it's sort of just particularly with Bullion, when we've done green hop in the past, it's like smelling a hedgerow in a really good way. Just that sort of green, rich, oily character, along with the black currants and citrus flavours as well. Yeah, it's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah. So we're going to flash forward to the brew day when we'll be seeing the hops being used, and then we're going to try this beautiful Bullion bitter at the end of the video. Wet hops need to be used within 24 hours, so the race is on to get them to the brewery once they're picked at the peak of their ripeness. The Bullion we saw was picked a few days later and shipped up to 5 Points, where we caught up with the brew team once we thought all the hard work had been done. How wrong we were.
What a lovely day we chose to come visit you.
I know, it's beautiful, beautiful.
It's a little bit different from the hot bar.
It is a little bit different, it is a little bit different.
So what's the history? How long have you been here?
So we've been on this site since 2012, started brewing in early 2013. We had a 10-barrel brew house to begin with, and then in 2015 we put in a 20-barrel brew house, which is what you see here behind us. Very simple, traditional UK brew house. We have an infusion mash tun, isothermal, and a copper and a separate whirlpool. We brew up to 3 times a day, 5 days a week.
You're busy then?
Busy, yeah. We have lots of things going on today.
Yeah.
So we've already brewed 2 beers before the green hop beer.
Oh, okay.
We're also casking our best bitter, our 5 Points best. We're kegging 5 Points Duper, and we have like lab and QC stuff going on as well.
What point are we at in the brew right now?
So we're just coming up to the boil in the kettle, which is this vessel here behind us. So start the boil, and 45 minutes after we start the boil, we'll start adding the Bullion green hops. We have 120 kilos going in the kettle today, 30 going in at 15 minutes before the end, and then the rest going in at the end of the boil.
Just trying to get my head around what 130 kilos of wet hops looks like.
I can show you in boxes.
Yeah, and like the times it would take to put that into
I mean,
boil.
we start at 15 minutes and we stop maybe about half an hour later.
Right, okay. So how many kilos is this?
So all of these boxes here is 120.
The heat that's coming off of this?
Yeah.
It's so warm. And when did this actually come in?
This came in at 9 o'clock this morning.
Wow. It's so fresh, isn't it? It's got that like, it's almost like cut grass freshness.
Yeah.
Let alone just the hop sort of thing.
Yeah.
It's like...
Yeah, it's great. Yeah.
So quick, how quick are they going brown like that?
They go brown pretty quick. I mean, you'd want to use them within 24 hours.
And that intense yellow in the inside, that looks like
Yeah,
that looks like pollen.
That's the resins and
That's
the
the
oils.
resin.
That's where all the flavour and aroma
Man,
comes from.
it's intensely yellow.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Wow. Can you see that? And you're not going to get it. Well, it doesn't look like that when it's dried hops. Obviously,
No,
it's all been dried out.
Yeah.
Amazing. And it is incredibly resinous. When I'm
it's
touching
so
it, it's just sticky.
Yeah.
It's icky sticky.
Yeah.
And I ate some of it, and now my mouth is just bitter as fuck.
Yeah.
It's like intense.
Yeah. But your fingers will smell good. So yeah, we've got to get all of this in the kettle. In theory, in 15 minutes, but it's never that straightforward.
It's like a sort of Japanese game show challenge, because there's no way you're getting that in
No,
in
exactly.
15 minutes.
No.
Through a little, well, not that little hole, but
Yeah, it's about
Yeah.
that big. Yeah. Yeah.
do you have a very big funnel?
We have an oar,
Right, okay, of course you
a
do.
canoe paddle. Yeah.
Once Brad had done his quality assurance sniffing, he gloved up to give the brewery a hand in getting the 120 kilograms of hops up on the brewing platform.
I'm springing a hole, man. This is what we bring, the Craft Beer Channel. Look at this chaos. Ah! We guard against the chaos.
Way to plug that hole, buddy.
We are the light in the darkness. It's like a Batman type thing.
Despite his Batman nonsense, they even let Brad help out adding the hops. The smell was an absolute joy, filling the arch with zingy, zesty citrus aromas as box after box after box was added. With that done, all that was left was for the beer to cool and the yeast to do its magic for a few weeks. After which, Brad went down to 5 Point's own Pembury Tavern to try the Bullion Best Bitter on its release day.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having us down at the Pembury Tavern.
You're welcome.
Amazing, beautiful place. I would say probably some of the best pizza in London.
Oh, I mean, I wouldn't disagree with you there.
But we're not here to talk about pizza
We're
as
not.
much as I would like that.
Yeah.
We have been following the process along of green hop, wet hop beers.
That's right. They're designed to be drunk fresh, so it wasn't long ago we were on the farm, it wasn't long ago we were brewing. We're celebrating a green hop festival this weekend, as are many places around the country this weekend and next weekend. And it's all about just trying to get the maximum flavour out of those hops, in flavours that you wouldn't otherwise get in dried hops that people use year round.
Yeah, because I think we're so used to, as an industry, dry hops being the go-to.
Yeah.
They're the most practical.
Well, they
you
are,
can
yeah,
get them
yeah.
from all around the world.
Yep.
But this really celebrates Kentish green hops.
Exactly. Yeah,
But you
it's
can
a celebration.
You can only make this beer for a couple of weeks a year.
Yeah, well, I mean, if that, I mean, so the Hukins hops, the farm that we went to, they were only picking Bullion, for example, for 3 days, I think it was.
Wow.
So there's 3 days, and you've got 24 hours to use your hops once you've got those green
Yeah.
hops. So really, you're looking at a 3-day window for that one beer.
It's like some sort of Mission Impossible style.
It really
brewing.
is. It really is. But it's such a celebration. You're so right to use that word, and that's one of the things that I love the most about it. Is it's sort of takes us back to almost our sort of like pagan past and celebrating the harvest and
Green Man and all
Green
that
Man,
sort of stuff.
exactly. Yeah, and
Yeah.
you know, it's fascinating and it's great to keep that tradition alive.
So this is about the most pagan and metal of,
Yeah.
of you know, any
Pretty
sort of
much.
hop brewing that you can get, right?
Exactly. Yeah.
Man, well, on that note, I think we should try some of it, right?
Yeah. Let's do it. Cheers.
Cheers. So what are we drinking now? This is
So
the
this is the Bullion. So this is what we were down in the farm looking at, and this is what you guys were helping us throw in the kettle. To me, it reminds me of sticking my head in a hedgerow. I don't know why. There's a real sort of, particularly with the green hops, the wet hops. There's a real sort of like resinous green, slightly spicy, grassy
Yeah,
character
it's
to
grassy, it's earthy,
it. Yeah,
and it's got that some strange spiciness that you don't normally get.
exactly. Yeah,
And that's from the wet hop.
Yeah.
So that's all those extra oils. I mean, it's very, very bitter is another thing that I'm picking up on.
it is. I mean, the style is a bitter. That's the
Yeah.
sort of what we're going from, and what we do, because all of the different green hops, when they're harvested, we don't actually know the alpha acid content
Right.
to give us the bitterness. So what we do is
there's no way of gauging consistency. 'cause
not at
it's
that
all-
point.
It's all
'cause
harvested,
exactly.
it's not
Yeah,
processed.
there's no processing yet. Exactly. So we'll take a bit of a gamble, and some will be more
have higher alpha acids, some will have lower alpha acids, and we have an average of where it is. But yeah, it's all those resins and oils again.
So it's different every year. It's exciting, man.
Yeah, it is great. Yeah.
And this is obviously 5 Points. You guys have done this for how many years? Is this second year? Or?
This will be third year.
Third year
of green hops. Yeah.
And this is obviously a big tradition in Kent.
Yeah.
So there's lots of different breweries that are doing it, more traditional breweries than you guys, I would say.
Yeah.
But it's awesome that such a cool London brewery
Well, I mean,
as yourselves to get involved in this kind of thing.
but we love it. We love cask beer, and I mean, you don't have to put it in cask, obviously.
Yeah.
But to me, it's a no-brainer that this sort of beer, the celebration of like British hop growing, which is however many centuries old, and then celebrating it in cask as well, which again is unique across the world. It's it's great. It's really good. It's nice to be part of it.
Oh, it's amazing to be part of it. And obviously this is such a rich UK tradition.
Yeah.
Amazing, man. Well, look, thanks so much for letting us follow along on this journey.
You're welcome. Cheers.
It's been a ride, man.
Yeah,
it's been an absolute
great.
ride.
It's been great.
And you guys out there, we'd love to know, have you tried wet hop beers before? What do you think of them? What do you think the future of wet hop beers is going to be? And we love you guys. Keep on drinking.
Cheers.